Y'all, this is absolutely bonkers. First of all, welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. I'm going to give you guys and analyze some breaking news right now. One of my biggest fears I was worried that was going to happen is the US has put sanctions on Russian oil. So I want to talk about what that means for all of us. Now, I just put out a video today that we could potentially start experiencing $8, $7, $8 in gas prices, and how that the gas prices year over year have already gone up 50%, and then how that leads to a recession. So I'm not going to cover that in this broadcast. What I really want to cover is what did Biden say exactly and what is going to start happening immediately, and what he's doing to prevent sky high gas prices going $9, $10. So I'm going to pull up an article right now. This article is from Fox News. Don't hold that against me, okay? I look, mainly look at Fox. I also look at CNN, NSBC, all of them. But take a look at this article right here. Okay, this is as of Tuesday the 8th. Biden says decision to ban Russian oil and gas will cause further price hikes at the pump. That's a big deal, you guys, because again, as I've been saying from the very beginning, not from the very beginning, but recently here, if inflation gets too bad, we will have a crash or a cool down, even if home inventory doesn't increase. Now, the reason, in my opinion, we haven't had a slowdown or a crash is because there's no inventory. The rules of supply and demand are kicking our butts out here. There's absolutely no inventory. It's an absolute, buyer's market nightmare. It is a seller's market. It is very toxic. But as I've been saying, if people cannot afford to buy a house, the market will crash. The market will cool down. Okay. Now, I normally, 2 weeks ago, I wasn't leaning towards this. But now that this war is happening, remember, Russia and Ukraine, huge exporters of oil and agriculture. This is going to hit every single American, and it already has. And just now, today, the sanctions have been put forth. So let's bring up the article. Just again, remember what I'm saying. Inflation is too high, market crash, even if we don't have the inventory. That is possible. So we're going to need to look at this. All right, let's bring this article back up. Now, okay. Now, here's what's very interesting. Now, President Biden goes on to say, the decision today is not without cost here at home, he told reporters, meaning everyone's going to pay for this decision. It's probably the best decision because Russia did invade Ukraine. And I don't want to go political here, but what can we do? We're going to keep buying oil from someone that is potentially evil? I don't know, right? I don't think so. I don't want to. So since Putin began his military buildup on the Ukrainian borders, just since then, the price of gas at pumps in America went up 75%. And with this action, it's going to go up further. So what Biden and what his administration is warning you is it's going to get a lot worse. Okay, now, when I did my last video, the average in Texas was under $4. That's going to change. Okay, it's going to get higher. But here's what I want to talk about as well that I liked, a little bit that he said, and this is why we have an oil reserve. We have an oil reserve for war. Okay, now let's read this. And this is from Biden. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. Biden continued. In coordination with our partners, we already announced that we are releasing, and this is the good thing, 60 million barrels of oil from our joint oil reserve. So this will provide some temporary relief here in the United States. But here's the thing, you guys, that 60 million barrels is only going to last so long. Oil demand is so high right now. We're not even into the summer. We're going into spring. We're going into summer. That 60 million barrels is only going to be essentially a Band-Aid. What really needs to happen is the war needs to stop. Now, he goes on to the oil and gas companies. Okay, let's highlight this. To the oil and gas companies and to the finance firms that back them. We understand Putin's war against the people of Ukraine is causing prices to rise. We get that. That's self-evident. Biden also said, but it's no excuse to exercise excessive price increases or padding profits of any kind or effort to exploit the situation on American consumers. Okay? That sounds really good, right? But raise your hand if you think these very profitable, potentially greedy oil companies are not going to pad their pockets from the situation. Anyone raising their hand out there? we all know that we are in for some pain. And y'all, I have my last video, I warned you guys of this. If we go into a recession and it starts hitting the job market, there's going to be so much pain. Imagine small business. Okay, let's take a step back. Obviously, the job markets right now are doing very well. Retail sectors are doing very well. There's plenty of jobs, plenty of wages. But now with all of this inflation over agricultural products, over gas, think of all the truckers that ship in supplies alone. If those small mom and pop shops have to increase their prices, they're going to stop hiring. If people stop hiring, the job market's doomed. We're going to go into a recession, even if there's not a lot of inventory. And y'all, I just looked at the numbers as of today, March 8th. The inventory as far as homes is less than a month. So the inventory it's an absolute nightmare. But this stuff, I'm starting to see there's going to be a point where all of this inflation and all of the lack of affordability is going to supersede the laws of supply and demand. And that's what I'm seeing here. And this is across the world. Look at this here. Okay, let me bring up this article. So here's it saying UK to phase out oil imports. So this is across the world, right? So there's going to be more and more pressure on all these other oil, companies. And this is really, really amazing that, the European Union is going to take a hit, just like us here at home. I don't know if they have reserves like we do. And it's also interesting, before President Biden announced this, Shell already came out and said, we are no longer going to be doing business with Russia. Also, look at this, McDonald's to temporarily shut down restaurants and phase operations in Russia. Okay. All of this means we're going to pay, right? We're going to pay at McDonald's. We're going to pay at the gas pump. We're going to pay at the grocery store. So, watch out for it. You guys, I'm going to make this video really quick. I just wanted to let everyone know that it has begun. No more oil from Russia. Sanctions have been put on Russian oil. We're all going to pay for that. Biden even is pleading with the corporations not to tax us on the gas too much. You guys know they're in business to make money, so that's probably not going to happen. So what's my advice? Okay, my advice is the same as it's always been. It is now more important than ever to rebudget yourself, understand how you're spending money, cut all of the fat, and get trim. Get used to no more a plethora of money. Cut your expenses. Like I said, download mint.com. That's what I'm using. This is my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but track your budget and start trimming it immediately, because things just got a heck of a lot more expensive. Now, if you must buy, if it's never been a better time to sell. It's never been more important to use outstanding professionals. Treat it like it's a huge transaction. If you guys need help or just my opinion in more detail, email me, okay? My email is in the description below. As you know, I'm a realtor in Houston, only Houston. I can only help in Houston. I'm sorry, but still email me if you have questions. If you want me to do a video on California, New York, comment. Email me. But I'm also a loan officer in the entire state of Texas. So if you have financing questions or whatever it is, I have a team standing by that can help you. But regardless, my point is this: we're fixing for some pain here. That's just my opinion. We're going to be in some pain years to come. I don't know how long this is going to happen. Russia came out and said they're not stopping. Ukraine came out and said we're going to fight to the end. So this may be unfortunately going on for a while here. And I don't want you guys to get caught up in, we're going to be caught up in inflation, but I don't want anyone to go bankrupt. I don't want anyone to be overwhelmed in debt. Obviously, the dollar is going to be devalued. Maybe invest in commodities like gold, silver, oil. I don't know. But one thing I do know for sure is tighten it up, trim the fat before it's too late. Get ahead of this, in other words. As always, you guys, thank you for tuning in with me. I hope this information is helping. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and as always, comment. I always appreciate people's insight. I'm just one person sharing my opinion. I have learned so much from my subscribers. Please keep educating me as well. Till next time, guys, good luck out there.